Good evening, good evening, good evening. From the Channel 9 studio, this is Sport Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. And what a mind boggling Sunday we had this evening. So we're just going to go straight for we're just going to start at the game that just ended. And I'm still scratching my head. I don't even know how that happened, right? But the New England Patriots went down to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens. And let's just put it up there. Let's just put it up there, right? Uh, we got we got the final score: New England 28, Baltimore 24, and this was more about the Patriots coming back than Baltimore holding out hope, even without Lamar Jackson, who got injured in this game and had to sit out the final two quarters just about. But this was more about Drake May, to be honest, than anything. Shout out to the youngster Drake May, who went crazy today. He was 31 of 44, 380 yards, two touchdowns, and an interception. Not much from the running game, even though Ramondre Stevenson had 51 yards and a touchdown uh, to give them the lead. Um, Drake May also had 25 yards rushing. Big game from Stephon Diggs, who had 9 receptions for 138 yards on 10 targets. Touchdown catches by Hunter Henry and Kyle Williams on a beautiful bomb from Drake May. And like I said, you can't really I can't even fault what happened here. Lamar Jackson had 101 yards before he was injured. He was only 7 for 10. Tyler Huntley was 9 of 10. But as you can see, there's no touchdowns involved with that. Derrick Henry had a great game, 18 carries, 128 yards, two touchdowns. Uh, Zay Flowers had 7 catches for 84 yards, including that fumble at the end of the game to to secure the victory for the Patriots and knock all hope out of a victory for the Baltimore Ravens. With this win, though, with this win, we got the Patriots clinching the playoff spot, keeping the keeping the 1 game lead over the Buffalo Bills, and tying for the number 1 spot, even though Denver got the upper hand on that. But we'll talk about Denver in a minute. But a lot of plays happened, and the fact that Baltimore was up with a what was they up 24-13 or 24-10, something like that, and then they ran off. They ran off with you know those huge plays at the end of the game. Drake May playing lights out, throwing for over 300 yards. Um, I feel bad for Baltimore, right? Lamar went out at the wrong time, and that wrong time was the right time for the Patriots because they took full advantage of it. Like I said, Huntley didn't do bad, but Drake May pulled that out of the rabbit hat, right? He pulled this one out. So congratulations to the Patriots. Even though it says 11-3, we know that they won. Um, like I said, with that win, they tied for first place. Um, but there's a lot of controversy in this game. Passing, offensive pass interference, no defensive pass. We're going to talk about all of this tonight because a lot of this play key roles in certain games. And like I said, it's just amazing how one team's victory is another team's downfall, and that's pretty much the gist of this. New England did all the work. They fought back to the victory, right? So are the Patriots for real? We don't know. I'm not going to speak on that because there's still more football to be played. Where is the game that I'm looking for? This is the game that I'm looking for. Now, speaking of this game, uh, in Denver, the Jacksonville Jaguars faced the Denver Broncos. I'm not going to say it's an upset, but it's a big win for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who came up big, 34-20 victory. The game was close. It was 17-10 at halftime, but that two touchdown advantage in the third quarter is what gives them the victory. You know, we all talk about uh, Trevor Lawrence. I was saying to myself, Trevor Lawrence has been underperforming. He had one good year, shows up two bad years after that, but you can't really say nothing bad about him today. He was 23 of 36, 279 yards, three touchdowns. Travis Etienne had 50 yards rushing on 16 carries. Um, uh, Parker Washington led the offense in receiving yards with 145 on six catches and touchdown. Uh, Etienne also has a catching touchdown, a receiving touchdown. He had four catches for 16 yards. But it's just amazing how we don't give a lot of these teams credit for coming back and doing what they need to do. For the Broncos, though, Bo Nix was 28 of 47, 352 yards, one touchdown, one pick. R.J. Harvey led the team with 50 yards on seven carries. If I if I'm not seeing, I'm not looking at the comments. Give me 1 second. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in once again. Right. So Cortland Sutton led the team with 86 yards on six catches. He was targeted 12 times. He got a touchdown uh, catch. So with this win, the Jaguars, they keep pace with not only the Denver Broncos, because now they have a advantage if they should tie, because they defeat the Broncos, who are the number one seed right now, but they're a game back of the Broncos and the New England Patriots, who just won, like I said. So big win for the Jaguars. In the middle of the season, nobody had them looking like this. Ain't nobody expect them to do anything of this caliber. We all thought, it was going to be the Colts with no choices, no options. So a big win for the Jaguars, who lead the AFC South by a game, I might add, but they're a game behind in the number one spot. They say there's six teams that can catch this thing, right? You got the Jaguars, you got the Patriots, the Broncos. Uh, the Bills are not far behind. Um, so it's a lot. Everybody but the Steelers, because they only have 9 wins. So, but we'll talk about the Steelers in a second. Let's go ahead and let me check the chat first, see if anybody spoke in. Mini Toys, welcome in, welcome in. Dakota Six, welcome in. Atmosphere, what's up, my guy? The chef is in the building. Um, Going back to the scores down in Carolina, the 7-7 Buccaneers faced the 7-7 Carolina Panthers. The winner of this game will be the NFC South leaders, and in a stunning performance, I say the Tampa Bay Bucks fall short to the Panthers, 23-20. Um, Baker Mayfield did not have his best day as a Buccaneer, as he was 18 of 26 for 145 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Bucky Irvin did lead the team with 71 rushing yards on 19 carries. And for the receivers, you got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, both with 5 receptions. Mike Evans with 31 yards, but Emeka Ibuka had the most yards on a 40-yard pass play, but he only had one reception. So, very under par performance from Baker Mayfield. Uh, Bryce Young, on the other hand, he was 21 of 32, 191 yards, two touchdowns, no interceptions. Not much of a rushing attack. Rico Dowdle only had 29 yards on nine carries. Uh, Tatoria McMillan led the team with 73 passing yards with a touchdown on six receptions, targeted 10 times. As I said, with this win, the uh, the Panthers gained control of the AFC South with a one-game lead, even though they may have. I'm not sure if they play each other again. I'm gonna check in a second. But with this loss, the Buccaneers have lost five straight games. Five. That's hey, I don't. I can't describe it. I can't explain it. But what we can say is, it's not looking good for the Bucks. Let me see the Bucks schedule. They play Miami next week, and then that game uh looks like it's in Carolina. Wait, wasn't this game in Carolina? I thought this game was in Carolina. They play each other again week 18. So they have to do something in order for them to find their way back to a victory. But a good win for the Panthers. Bad loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now in Detroit, I know my guys. He's not covered up. I know my guys feeling some type of way. Uh, in Detroit, wow, the Detroit Lions hosted the Pittsburgh Steelers, and in a game that is going to be highly, highly spoken about, the Pittsburgh Steelers do steal a Well, they win. Some people might say it's a stolen victory. Some people might say it's an assisted victory. But it's a victory nonetheless by the Pittsburgh Steelers, 29, the Detroit Lions 24. It's not even about the game, the stats really. It's really not. But I'm gonna give it to you anyhow. Y'all, I'm explaining myself in a minute. Give me a second. Aaron Rodgers was 27 to 41, 266 yards, one touchdown. He didn't turn the ball over. Warren had a huge game. He had 14 carries for 143 yards. Uh, Kenneth Gainwell had 9 rushes for 50 yards, but his input was truly on that pass, the 45-yard touchdown pass at the end of the first half to tie the game at 10 to start all the craziness in the first place. That ball was underthrown. The referee said he didn't catch it. We saw that he caught it. He wasn't touched. He kept the play going, ran it in for a touchdown. Like I said, they ruled it as an incomplete pass. Um, they overturned it, said he caught it, said he ran it in, said it was a touchdown. So this game was highly controversial, not just because of that play. But for those of you that don't know, Pittsburgh gave the ball back to the Lions with the score 29 to 24. Got some huge plays going down the line. Uh, One play was called back on a offensive pass interference on the wide receiver. I can't remember who it was. Number 18 on a passing touchdown that would have gave the Lions the lead in the first place with about 22 seconds left. Uh, was it Sailor? No, it wasn't Sailor. Yes, it was Sailor. He got called with a pass interference. That was the first pass interference, offensive pass interference. And finally, the final play was a pass caught by Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was being tackled. He flipped the ball to Jared Goff. Jared Goff caught the ball, dove into the end zone. Flags was being thrown, and they called offensive pass interference on that play. Said that it was a touchdown, but they can't do nothing about it because there's no more time on the clock. The game is over. That's how that game ended. That's how Pittsburgh ran up out of Detroit with a victory, 29-24. Like I said, I know people was going to be highly talking about this. It's it's if you see the play, you could decide if it was pass interference or not. Some people gonna say by the letter of the law it was. It's gonna be so many different. I promise you, this will be spoken about throughout this week. Um, I don't listen. I don't even know how to. I can't even. I don't know. I'm so tongue tied right now because there was so many different things that happened. Am I gonna do what? Are we gonna go? Yeah, we spoke about that, but I go. We'll go over that again. Yeah, we'll go over that again. No atmosphere. We spoke about that Friday night. You hit them low early. You hit them low early. I see. He said, "Oh, you hit the man while it's down." But that was a controversial game, everybody. And I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't listen, man. I was so stunned about these calls at the end of the game, and I'm like, do we really make those calls? Because the first pass interference in my eye, it looked like Tesla. I call him Tesla, was pushed into the dude, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was wide open. The second one, we see the push off, but I don't think it was as huge as they made it seem. But they called it. That negated everything that happened after that, and there was no more time to have a run for them to run it back. So, you know, it's a huge loss for the Lions. They still have a shot. They got to win out, and Green Bay has to lose out in order for them to make the playoffs. But congratulations to the Chicago Bears because with that loss, the Chicago Bears clinched a playoff spot. But we're going to talk about the playoff spots. Um, we're going to talk about that in a few. Let me get back over here and give you guys some more scores and highlights. Let's just go to scores. Because if I see something that happened. Well, we're gonna go over today's scores first. Uh, the Texans hosted Let me start from the bottom. Let me start from the bottom. Make sure I got everybody. Uh, we got the Titans. The Titans hosted the Chiefs, and the Titans get a much needed victory, 26-9 over the Chiefs. Wow, that just showing you how bad Kansas City is without Patrick Mahomes. And even in that game, they lost their backup quarterback because he tore his ACL reportedly. Hope he gets better soon. Was it Gardner Minshew? I think that's who it is. We hope he gets well soon. In MetLife Stadium, the Minnesota Vikings came to town to play the Giants, and the Minnesota Vikings left town with a victory, 16-13 over the Giants. Uh, The Vikings are now 7-8. The Giants are trying to hold on to that first draft pick. It looks like with a 2-13 record. Uh, in New Orleans, the Saints hosted the Jets, and the Saints beat the Jets 29-6. I wasn't expecting them to win. That's my guys, but I already know what y'all should be trying to do. Y'all should be trying to hold on to all those draft picks, some early draft picks, figure it out. Uh, in Miami, the Cincinnati Bengals 45, the Miami Dolphins 21. The Bengals are now 5-10. The Dolphins are now 6-9. We told you about the Panthers 23-20 victory over the Chiefs. Excuse me, the Buccaneers to give them that 1 game lead. The Panthers are 8-7. The Buccaneers are 7-8. In Dallas, the Cowboys hosted the Chargers, and the Chargers left Dallas with a victory, 34-17. The Chargers is 11-4, and the Cowboys are now 6-8-1. They was eliminated the other with Phillies win the other day. In Cleveland, Buffalo defeats the Browns 23-20. They get out of there with a much needed victory. That game went down to the final few plays, but Buffalo sticks it out and gets the victory. They are 1 game back of the Patriots and 1 game back from having home field advantage. Uh, in Atlanta, in Arizona, the Falcons 26, the Cardinals 19. The Falcons are now 6-9 with their victory. The Cardinals are 3-12 with their loss. We spoke about the Broncos and Jaguars. We know the Broncos are 12-3. We know the Jags are 11-4. They're 1 game back. We just spoke about the Steelers' 29-24 victory in Detroit, giving them a 9-6 record, and they actually got a 2 game lead. Now that I'm looking at it, over the Baltimore Ravens, and the Lions go to 8-7. And Houston, the Texans defeat the Raiders 21-23. The Texans are now 10-5, 1 game behind the Jaguars, and the Raiders are 2-13, still holding on to some slim hope of having first round draft, the number 1 pick. And like I said, finally, the Patriots 28, the Ravens 24. They're 7-8, and back 2 games of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the NFC North. So the standings will be just like this. Hopefully they're updated. They should be. In the AFC, as you can see, the Bills are back 1 game to the Patriots, who clinched their playoff spot. With Pittsburgh win, they're 2 games up, and Baltimore's loss make them 2 games back. And in the AFC South, Jacksonville has a 1 game lead over the Texans. And finally, I didn't realize that the Broncos were a game ahead of the Chargers in the West. So they are going to have some meaningful football games up in the AFC. Like I said, 6 teams can catch the number 1 seed. In the NFC, you see the Philadelphia Eagles, they clinched their division. So the jinx is over. Anybody in the NFCs, the jinx is over. For the first time in a long time, they have been back-to-back division champions. I'm going to say 20 years to be nice, because I can't remember offhand. But congratulations to the Eagles. They clinched their division. Was that yesterday? Yeah, by beating the Commanders. The Bears clinched a playoff spot tonight with the loss of the Detroit Lions. They got a 2 game lead, some 2.5 game lead. So they may have clinched the division. No, I'm not going to say that, because there's still 2 games to go. But they are heavy favorites in their division. As I just spoke about, Carolina is a game up on the Bucks. I didn't realize the Falcons were 6-9, but they are. They got slim hopes, but I doubt they'll do anything. And in that NFC West, you see the Seahawks with a 1 game lead over the Rams over that controversial game Thursday. And the 49ers, they'll play tomorrow. If they win, they could be 11-4. They play the Colts tomorrow. So, it's a lot going on in the world of football. You said, "Damn, what happened to the Chiefs?" Well, what happened to the Chiefs is realize what's going on though. Patrick Mahomes got jammed up towards ACL. They was going. I don't know if they were going to make it, but him not being there solidifies that they're not going to do nothing. They're going to be home for the first time. They ain't. That's the first time they ain't win 10 games in about 10 seasons. So you know, it's something crazy. I almost said realists don't start. Atmosphere don't start this, man. Don't start this. Don't start this. It's too early. Y'all have no reason to start that already, right? But let me just say this about the officiating over this week 16. It started Thursday with that crazy call of an incomplete pass, and then when you say a pass is incomplete, everybody's going to stop moving. But because that man picked the ball up, you said no, it was a backward pass, and because he picked the ball up, you gave him a 2-point conversion, which led to overtime. It was so much, and then the Lions game, like I said, those two costly calls, it shattered. It was game changing. Literally, it literally changed. It snatched the victory out of from the Lions and gave it to the Steelers. Even in the New England game, it was a blatant defensive pass interference that wasn't called. They just called a push off offensive pass interference. So I don't know if the officials are more focused on the pass interference, but those calls have been being made all season at the wrong time and affecting the plays and actually affecting games to where the teams are losing the advantages that they had going in. Like I said, if they don't call pass interference on the Lions, they win the game. If they don't call an incomplete pass, the Rams would have won that game because they would have prevented the 2-point scoring. But they said it was a backward pass, and nobody. Sometimes you do got to play. You got to be smart too. You got to play to the whistle's blown. Even if the whistle's blown, you just keep playing. If they're gonna flag you for something, you might as well get flagged for it, right? Because that's what happened in the Rams game. Because if they would have kept playing and doing all that, they would have been flagged, even though y'all blew the whistle and said it's incomplete. Then y'all overturn it. So y'all just telling everybody to just keep playing until there's no more play left in the play. That sounded crazy, but that's how it was Thursday night, right? Because even when they converted the 2-point conversion, they had to go to overtime, and there was some crazy things that happened in the overtime. It was so much. The officials got in the way of this week. I'm not I don't have no skin in the game. My team is trash, but I'm telling y'all the way that this game went down, it was mind boggling. It's going to be people speaking about this. I don't care if it's the NFL Network, ESPN. I promise you, there's going to be people speaking about the officiating. I'm putting it out there first, so that way, when you hear it, like, dang, he did say that. You know what I mean? Because it was just crazy. It was just mind boggling. It didn't make no sense how much the officials played a huge role in this week. It makes you scratch your head. Like I said, well, for Detroit, it hurts them bad. It really hurts them bad because now they got to win out in order to even speak about the playoffs. If they lose any of these games, these next two games against the Vikings and the Bears, they ain't nothing for them to talk about. The Rams, on the other hand, they can still they're still in the playoffs. Matter of fact, let me go on ahead and show the playoff scenario uh while I'm here. While we're still talking about it. As you can see, these teams that's highlighted, they're in the play, all clinched. Even though New England's not there yet, they clinched tonight, right? So you got New England and the Broncos both clinched in the AFC. You got one, you got the Seahawks, you got the Bears, you got the Eagles, you got the Rams, and you got the 49ers. All of them is clinched. So, and the only reason why they don't have the NFC South is because they still got to play each other. That game, they're a game behind it or game up, and so they got a shot. And the Packers could be caught by the Lions if they lose both of their games and the Lions win theirs. In the AFC, like I said, the Patriots clinched. The Jaguars in the third seed. Pittsburgh with a 2-game lead in the NFC North is in the fourth seed. The Chargers is a game back. They're fifth in their division. Buffalo's a game back in their division. They're sixth. And the Texans are a game behind in their division, and they're seventh. Now we know the Colts still got a fighting chance if they win them all, but if not, it's highly unlikely they'll catch any of these guys. And Baltimore still got a shot because they're a game, well, they're 2 games out from their division, and they have to play each other in week 18 as well. So there's a lot of games, there's a lot of season left for a couple of these guys. Positioning is going to be at the standpoint going next week. Um, we know that there's going to be Thursday night games uh, going into week 17. Christmas games will be played. Let me go back to put this tab on for you guys. So as you can see, let me make sure you guys can see it. You guys can see it? Yes, you can. You got the Cowboys and Commanders on Christmas Day, 1 p.m. You got the Lions and Vikings at 4:30 Christmas time in Minnesota, and the 8:15 game is on Prime. It's on Prime. Broncos heading to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. So the 1 o'clock and 4:30 game is going to be on Netflix. I think this is their first game of the season. Well, yeah, it's the only game I know that they had. And the night game is going to be on Prime Video. Right? That's Christmas. That's Thursday, Saturday. These are the 2 games Saturday. They're going to be on the NFL. One's going to be on the NFL Network. The Texans will be going to LA to play the Chargers, and Baltimore will be heading to Green Bay to play the Packers. We don't know Lamar Jackson's status for that game. As like I said, he got injured. He got hit in the back, so that's what made him not complete tonight's game. But those are the 2 games Saturday. And then Sunday, you got all of these games. You got the Bucks heading to Miami to play the Dolphins. Pittsburgh going to Cleveland to play the Browns. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Myles Garrett is going to break the sack record there. Jacksonville will be heading to Indy to play the Colts. New England will be heading to MetLife to play the Jets. The Cardinals will be heading to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The Saints will be heading to Tennessee to play the Titans. Seattle will be heading to Carolina to play the Panthers. Important game there. The number 1 bowl. The New York Giants will be heading to Vegas to play the Raiders. I don't know who to pick. I don't know who to pick. I might pick the Raiders because I think the Giants need more help. Or I would hope so. Philly will be heading up to Buffalo to play the Bills. Chicago will be heading out west Sunday night to play the 49ers. Is that the final game? Yes, it is. And the Monday night game will be The Rams heading to Atlanta to play the Falcons. So that's the scores. That's the scores and standings in the schedule of Week 17. Um, it's crazy. Like I said, what a week in the NFL. It's super crazy. Uh, it's like I said, I don't even know how to describe this thing, man. It's very wow, right? So let me let me switch sports because we can talk. We spoke about that enough. Let me re-highlight this thing. Give y'all some scores in the NBA. Uh, starting from the bottom. Starting from the bottom. Wow, damn. In Atlanta, the Chicago Bulls went to Atlanta to play the Hawks and leave Atlanta with a victory. The score is 152 to 150. We know ain't no defense being played there. Chicago with the win goes to 3-15. Atlanta goes to 15-15 at a 500. I don't know why they keep doing this to Brooklyn. In Brooklyn, though, Toronto went to play the Nets, and the Nets get a 96-81 victory. I don't even want to tap it because I know they're not doing too well. We'll see this. We'll see the standings in a minute. In Madison Square Garden, the Miami Heat came to town to play the Knickerbockers, and the Knickerbockers get a 132 to 125 win. The San Antonio Spurs headed east to play the Washington Wizards and come out with a victory, 124 to 113 over the Wizards. Milwaukee headed north to play Minnesota, play the Timberwolves, and the T-Wolves get a 103-100 victory. Oh, there's still a game going. Okay, in Sacramento, in the fourth quarter with just over 7 minutes to go, the Houston Rockets 102, uh, the Kings 98. So let's look at the standings as of right now. Now, how to do y'all want to see the conference? We'll start with the conferences. The Pistons are ahead of the Knicks by 2 games, followed by Boston, Philly, Orlando, Toronto, Cleveland, and Miami. That would be the first 8. The 2 playing teams would be uh, the Hawks and Chicago Bulls, and the rest is just following. In the West, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder, who lost 2 games in a row. The world is trembling because they lost 2 games in a row rather. They're followed by the Nuggets, the Lakers, the Rockets, the T Wolves. Damn, the T Wolves got 19 wins. Wow, that's what's up. The Suns and the Golden State Warriors. That would be the first 8. The 2 playing teams would be right now the Portland Trailblazers and the Dallas Mavericks. I know, atmosphere, you still need time, but we do hear that Kyrie is making a return soon in a couple weeks. Well, he's allowed to practice in January. Let's see how long it's going to take him to get back on that court and have NBA playing time. But they're followed by the Jazz, the Clippers, the Pelicans, and finally the Kings. So those are all the scores, standings, and all of that. So now I can just come back. Yeah, I'm we got Christmas schedule. Hold on, let me go back because we got a Christmas schedule coming. But I'll probably talk about that more tomorrow. But this I think all of those games is going to be on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken, or ABC, or the majority of those games. Christmas schedules as follows: the Knicks will be hosting the Cavaliers. Uh, the Thunder will host the Spurs. The Warriors will host the Mavericks. Y'all get some TV time on Christmas atmosphere. The Rockets will be playing the Lakers at 8, and the T Wolves will be going to Denver to play the Nuggets on Christmas. So those are your events for Christmas, as stated. But those are the scores. Now my guy wanted to talk about the Jake Paul match. We spoke about it briefly Friday. Mavs gonna win that game. I'm looking for you on Christmas. Don't worry. You know we go live. Well, Bust It Down gonna go live for Christmas. He'll probably do his routine, being a gift situation. But we're gonna go back and talk about the Jake Paul match. Some people might say it's an exhibition, but I know there's a lot of people who's satisfied with that result. For those of you that don't know, uh, Anthony Joshua knocked him out, put him down in the sixth round. Um, I'm just gonna say this, you know, it's very easy to talk about something and act like you know what you're doing in certain situations, but the way he went into that fight, he threw some. Don't get me wrong, he threw punches, right? Some of them might have even connected. So well, some of them did connect, right? I'm talking about Jake Paul, but when you go in there with a recent fighter, right? Like Anthony Joshua, he still wants to fight. He's still ready to. He still thinks he's a heavyweight contender, right? I don't even know what Jake Paul weighs, but when you get those gloves put on you, man, you yeah, he held back, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. He escaped that with just a broken jaw, and that's why it's dangerous. You know, Jake Paul, he's doing this right. He getting this attention. A lot of people want to see him lose, right? You you have to understand if you ain't ready for that. If you ain't ready for nothing like that, don't try your hand in that, man. Don't try your hand in that. Yeah, it was a matter of time, and that's what I'm saying. You can't keep fighting these dudes that's been retired 10, 15, 20 years. You can't keep doing that and expect you can handle somebody who's not even retired technically, right? You was better off trying to fight somebody your size or a little bit smaller, right? You had that opportunity, but that man is like 200 and something pounds. He's a super heavyweight. That man, I was looking at that man punching. He's trying to show he still got it. He's standing up. Man, he was punch drunk. Kept tripping over himself, kept falling, kept falling. That that's a great question. But I think they would have it I don't think it would have ended well for him either because I'm talking about Jake Paul. Excuse me, because these guys, they're listen, man. I really think, to be honest with you, I think Anthony Joshua was so pissed off that Mike had to go in there and do that. He wanted to redeem Mike Tyson. I promise you, I truly thought that was the case. Yeah, I mean, this ain't, like I said, this ain't Mike Tyson. This ain't, Mike. He's not. He can't. Whatever that situation was. Some people, man, they said, man, fuck this. I'm going to drop you, like for real. Like I really want to drop you because you embarrassed the great one. You know, not to say that we have a lot to be proud of, right? When you see and hear the Mike Tyson story, growing up in Brooklyn, going through this, that, and the third. You was at that fight. Yo, he said he had. Yo, that's. You's a nut. But when you go through those situations, when you try to embarrass icons, right? Especially people growing up watching that or going just hearing about him. I'm not gonna say everybody saw Mike Tyson at his peak, right? You know, maybe a Bud Crawford, maybe these guys that's in their late 30s, maybe they have a visual of Mike like mid 90s after he came home, things like that. But when you have that legacy that you sitting there talking about, yeah, he be he be tripping, really. Damn, man, he you know, it's just crazy how you think you can do that to everybody. Ain't nobody gonna keep standing up for people devaluing icons. And yeah, he might have embarrassed himself, atmosphere, but that was easy money for him. He says, like, yo, he's not gonna do no damage to me because he's not like that. He's not built for that. But it just hurts the casual fan, the fan that remember Mike 35 years ago, 40 years. Damn, it's almost 40 years since he won the title. It is 40 years since he won the title. That's what I'm saying. Like, damn, right? And then sit there and watch that debacle of an exhibition. I know I wasn't the only one feeling that way, and I'm not saying that he could have did. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying this is a debacle because you made him look like a shell of himself because he was a shell of himself. He's almost 60 years old, and you had the audacity to challenge a 60-year-old man to sit there and do what? What could he do? If that adrenaline would have pumped high enough, that shit could have killed him. All for an exhibition match. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that bothers people. That's the shit that like, yo, hold on, man. You can't do this to people like that, man. Fight somebody that's your age, your stage. Don't fight no Nate Robinson dude. You understand what I'm saying? Don't fight the MMA dude. Fight somebody. If you want to be a boxer, fight a boxer. Get your license. Put your uh 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 register your hands. Whatever the hell it is that you got to do. Register the shit so that way you can go box somebody who's in your class. Don't go box some featherweight, some lightweight, some crew. No, don't do all of that. And that's the thing. That's why the calamity. You know, you see what real say. I ain't like that. There's nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? And even if he did hold back, the point is why? Why you made a mockery of a sport that people truly values. Now you got people running around. Well, damn, boxing is fake. We just finished speaking about how we all think, wrestling ain't real. It's real, right? But those injuries are real. But we know the results, right? Or the results is already known to the people that making it up. You made boxing look worse than WWE, and that's funny because your goddamn brother is a part of the WWE. You made it look worse than his shit. All to make a couple bucks. All the fights to I fought this guy. I fought Iron Mike. That shit don't count. You made a mockery out of him. You made a mockery out of the sport. So what happens? You face the real one. You got your brakes beat off. That man was really trying to hurt you. He probably smiling with his purse. Like, yo, I broke this. And then you got the audacity to act like a broken jaw is cute. I got my jaw fixed. I'm like, wait, what? Nobody does this. Nobody's doing this. And that's what we was talking about Friday, atmosphere. We was talking about the Great Four. Sugar Ray, Hagler, Hearns, what the hell is his name? Duran, those guys, Purnell, dudes of that stature. You know what I mean? He talking about that, and they go on blow for blow, 15 rounds. Whoever wins. Run it back. You know what I mean? Like it was all there. Now you just got this looking like a mockery, and it's so sad because then you got people like we also spoke about Bud Crawford shutting it down because he ain't got nothing to prove. When there's nothing to prove, that's one thing. You ain't proven this. That fight just proved that you don't belong there. Not with that guy. If you're gonna do this, let's do it right. And that's the thing. We gotta find out who's gonna step up. Who's gonna step up because now that man retired. Uh, uh, I don't know. Is Stevenson gonna step up? I don't know. Is Tank gonna get himself together, keep himself in shape mentally for these fights? Don't know. You know what I mean? It's not like Word would know better than that. I don't know how it goes. I don't know who's gonna be able to keep the torch going. Right? We just saw Roach and Pitbull. Roach is about to wear a jacket that he don't even deserve. Because every time he gets in the ring, all his shit is a damn draw. And a lot of the time he look like he winning. And that's what I'm saying, atmosphere. But look what they doing to him. Every fight that he goes into, the last two fights is draws. And they wasn't draws in the first place. You know what I mean? So what we gonna do? We gonna watch this match and see if it's a draw? We gonna wait and see, you know what I mean? Like, no. Nobody wants to sit there and watch a draw, even though we know Lamar Roach won those fights. He won both of them, in my opinion. But how many times is a guy gonna keep sitting there going through draws and draws and draws and you want somebody to like how could I make myself y'all telling me what I'm doing is not enough. And clearly what he's doing was more than enough because a lot of people, not just my opinion, but a lot of people saying the same thing. He won those fights. That's what I'm saying. Now he won those fights. So now, but that shit ain't on his record. Them shits is draws. Two draws. Back to back. Not only is you hurting his standing, you hurting his pockets. Cause who's gonna fucking watch somebody that just keep getting in draws? Even though we know he won. Damn, only thing okay, well let's wait and see if he gonna get a victory or they gonna give him another draw. Let's see if they shut him down. Let's see, you know what I mean? It's like so many different things going on. Like, y'all just destroying that thing, right? You know, and even like I said, even with this Jake Paul situation, he looked good for a second. But what about the other 59 seconds? You know what I'm saying? The other 59 seconds, you falling over yourself, you dropping, you on bended knee. I thought you were trying to propose to the dude, like like you tripping. You get one good hit, you start stumbling. You stumble. No, you can't keep stumbling like that. You wasn't built for that thing. Now, what is that going to mean? You not going to try? Then you don't talk about you want to fight Canelo. Like, let me say this: if Canelo lose to this dude, man, I'm crying. I will never watch another fight. I didn't even want to watch I didn't watch the fight. I had to watch the replays of I had to watch it over because I'm like, if he even gets anywhere near close to a decision with this dude, I know it's bullshit because everybody's saying the same thing. Well, damn, it's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. That was not rigged. If that fight was rigged, shoot, you need to. If that fight was rigged, grits ain't grocery. That man put the beats on that man. That man, he's sitting there celebrating. He got a broken jaw because Joshua gave it to him. I'm not celebrating that. I don't belong there. I ain't going. I ain't asked to the party. I ain't going. You ask somebody to the party and got your your brakes beat off. That ain't cool at all. And that's the thing. If y'all want to do this for tickets, why don't y'all just do some thumb wrestling or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But if that does happen, Canelo got a whole sport to represent. And if he don't represent that sport right, they might as well strip his ass of everything he got. I don't care if it's WBA, WBO, LMNOP. I don't care what rank he got. He needs to sit his ass down if he loses to this dude. Stop making this a mockery. You know what I mean? You can't sit there and keep playing with this like it's some damn joke. It's not a joke. Some people eat off of this sport. Some people thrive off of this sport. And for you to sit there and play with this shit it's buffoonery, it's disrespectful to all of those people that put that work in. I don't care if it's from the eight. I don't care Joshua, Tyson Fury. I don't. You making a mockery out of these people. You playing with these guys. Stop playing with them. Also sound like words. Stop playing with them. Stop playing with. Don't disrespect these guys. Acknowledge these guys. What these guys do is a real thing. You sitting there playing with it like it's YouTube. That's not YouTube. That's a man's bread and butter. They gonna hold that family down. All right, no problem. I might have won $5 million. I might have got a $5 million purse, but I'm gonna show you why this shit is what it is. Boop boop boop. Broken jaw. Sit down. You sitting there trying to save face, like them punches ain't really landing on you. You sticking your tongue out. You try to make you chew your tongue. Sit down. Right cross. Dover. Stop playing. Listen, don't disrespect them. I don't disrespect no sports. I don't disrespect nothing that nobody do. Because they work hard at what they do. That's like coming on here and telling somebody that, yo, what you doing is mad bullshit. What real is put up there, it takes time and effort. I would never disrespect it. What anybody puts up here, I would never disrespect it because it's their time and energy. If I don't like it, I'll shut the hell up. If I like it, we gonna comment, have a conversation, share it out, whatever we gonna do. That's what it's about. But for this dude to think that he really would had a he really did he have a puncher's chance? I didn't even see that. I literally said this man has no chance on the planet to do any damage to Joshua in the manner of, the one hitter quitter. I said that to myself because I knew he had no shot. That's why I said I'm not gonna watch it. And if I would have watched it and they would have went any other way than what it went, man, I think I'd have stopped watching any type of boxing for a long period of time. Don't disrespect these people that put that fight in. I get that. I do. I get that. I get that. And even they don't even have to pay. They don't even have to pay like the division or the sanctions like the WBO. That's why Tank left, in my opinion. Tank said, "Yo, I'm not. I mean, Bud Crawford. But Crawford, like, y'all sitting there trying to count my pocket. Well, he didn't give. We only charged him 2%, and he got 50 million. That's his damn business. You only charged him 2%. Did you get the 2%? If you ain't get the 2%, shut the hell up. It ain't about you getting what or count how much you get. He do. He do, but that's what people that know what they're doing. That's the point. You see what I'm saying? If you know what you're doing, like you ain't gonna see him get in the ring with a Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury gonna try to get him. Right? He can say he want to do it. Now he gotta make it make sense if he do it. This is where I miss my 33 brother because my 33 brother could have been like, nah, that ain't happening. I don't think it'll happen because he folds like a cheap tent. We seen him fold before. You know what I mean? We seen him fold before. So, but you can't fold to this guy. You can't fold to this dude that thinks he know what he's doing. No, you can't fold to that. Because you fold to that, you giving all credence to the bullshit that he's doing and make the sport look like like Sideshow Bob. Boxing was very important to a lot of people for a lot of years. It's dying down because the actual the product is getting tampered with. You know what I mean? It's great to see. Excuse me. If Bud Crawford going, if he going to lose, we're not even privileged to see that anymore because she's stepping down. We don't have the Tank Davis. We don't have the Shakur Stevens. We don't have none of that right now. But even if he did lose, man, listen, you may felt he lost them, but Wilder did enough not to win it either. You see what I'm saying? Wilder did a lot against Fury to not win the fight. That's why, even when you watch those matches, you're like, okay, he got to punch his chance because that's all. That's what Wilder has. He always gonna have a punch chance because he's a knockout guy. So he's always gonna have that punch chance. We did not see that with Jake Paul. I'm gonna call him Logan Paul. We did not see that with Jake Paul. And if he would have tried anything else, he might have been put to sleep for real, like not get up off the mat. That's what I was worried about. He ain't getting up no time soon. You know what I mean? Like it'll be a waste. They're gonna have to really peel him off the floor if anything crazy was to happen with that. So it just so many different ways to look at it. The knockdown should, if it was a knockdown, it counts. Did they not call it a knockdown? He's supposed to got a standing 8 count. Did he get up before 8? You said 10 plus. They counted him down for 10 plus? What happened to the standing 8 count? Now, from my memory, that still exists. But you saying the 10 plus count, I'm just saying that exists. So I don't know. So now they're gonna have to scramble to make the boxing world relevant, right? I mean, Joshua did enough to say, "Yo, this they ain't playing it. We ain't playing with you. Don't do this to us no more. Don't come to us with this nonsense." Now, whatever you do with Canelo, if that's your speed, that's your speed. Don't come up to this level. We're gonna punish you. You know what I mean? Because I promise you, if Holyfield would have had that opportunity, I think Holyfield would have tried to kill him. And Holyfield, he stayed broke. So I'm like, man, fuck, I want to show what this is. You see, why he ain't fight the executioner? You see what I'm saying? Why not Bernard Hopkins? Why not put that thought out there? No, Bernard Hopkins is not even gonna play with you. See what I'm saying? You know the bullshit that you're doing, so stop doing it. You know what I mean? Oh, they started to count. Like, oh, that happened. Even if you start to count, who started the table's supposed to count for you? The judges or whoever it is that by the bell. Yo, the count is at 3. Okay, 4, 5. That's where it's supposed to be. But I mean, it's something different. Mm. Well, that's going. That we like to be out. Who's the champ now? I don't can't remember who's the champ. I don't. I know it ain't Tyson Fury. I remember he lost, unless he got the belt back. But yeah, it's just so much going. Like I said, atmosphere. There's so much going on in that sport to where they're watering it down. And that shit ain't even cute, man. They playing with this, and then you got these exhibition ass fights, Jake Paul and whoever. That shit is not helping the sport at all. Like I said, we just and a lot of people are satisfied. Like I said, they're satisfied with the result. He getting pounded out like that. He don't care. You know what I mean? You don't care. Oh, okay. I gotta figure out who that is. But you know, the fact that they're playing with this sport is really like mind boggling, and it's absolutely retarded. You know what I mean? It don't even make sense how you can just keep playing with this thing. It's a travesty. It's ugh, it is what it is. So tomorrow night, well, let me announce this real quick. All of the WWE is going to be pre-recorded this week. So don't be surprised if you get updates. You know, I've heard some updates. Some people may like them, some people may not. But I'm still going to follow the routine. We're going to catch up on Raw. We're going to catch up on SmackDown on Friday. They will, like I said, they will be pre-recorded. A lot of them are back home with their families and loved ones. Something that's been done for the first time ever, because they a lot of them was missing mad Christmases with their children, mad holidays with their families. So if you want to shout out Triple H and them for this, this is a reason to shout them out, because they get to be with their families and loved ones and things of that nature. Don't worry about it. We got the matches. Y'all go home and do what y'all do. But I will keep doing what I do just to keep the routine heading into 2026. Uh, we know that there's only 2 more weeks of football, so there may be a lot more basketball being spoken of. Obviously, maybe catching the West Coast game at least once a week to keep the NBA abreast heading into the All Star break, because a lot of games is getting ready to start coming on before the All Star break, and as the NFL is winding down, they only got 2 more weeks to go. I think the NFL regular season is over January 4th, so we will keep that thing going. We will keep that train going forward. Like I said, back we might do some Dallas Maverick games for atmosphere. No, he's not. He's not just a face. He's a writer. He's the executive producer. So that means his final say so is what it is, and that's the thing. So when you're sitting there, you keep having these non competitive matches for no belts. You keep fighting MFTs versus the Y6, and they not fighting for a belt. Street Profits ain't been on for 2 months. Uh, you push all the stuff to Raw and don't set up SmackDown. What you mean? Who you think is writing the stories? Who you think is doing this? You give me some names. You can't blame this on TKO. You can't blame this on Rock, because they don't have the hands on to write. They're not even there. They probably don't even know what the hell the stories are. Like right now, there's no stories. Look at what's the story in Raw? The only story in Raw right now is that Gunther beat John Cena. CM Punk is over there fighting tag team fights and stuff like that. CM Punk is not even putting the belt up. They waiting all the way to Raw as Netflix 1 year reunion for him to fight. He just got the belt. He ain't defended the belt yet. Supposed to defend the damn thing already. You ain't defended yet. 30 days supposed to be over. They not taking that belt from him. This is what I'm saying. If he's not writing this, then there's a problem. Whoever he got writing it is on some bullshit. You got Drew. Look, you got Drew Mac. You got more stories of SmackDown than Raw. Okay, Roman's supposed to come back. What's going on with Roman? CM Punk is the champ. Who is he gonna fight? Y'all got him fighting Braun Breaker. You just messed. You just told who the guy in the mask was. Is Austin Theory. What y'all gonna do with him? You see what I'm saying? How are we gonna prepare ourselves for the Royal Rumble that's coming ahead of us? Right, and that's what I'm saying. Cause watch, realist. As soon as this thing come up, soon as the Raw 1 year reunion on Netflix happen, that's when they're gonna try to push a story for the Royal Rumble, right? Nobody's even talking about the young kids that had great showings at Saturday night's main event. You know what I mean? I'm still pissed off the way Obafemi was mishandled because of fucking Drew McIntyre. Nigga, go sit your ass down, Drew McIntyre. Let this young man go ahead and do what he got to do, man. We know that he's going. You know, I know that he's coming. I wouldn't be surprised if Obafemi's in the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to be surprised if Trick Williams is coming up soon. I know Javon Evans is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You Drew, you do. Now you talking about you scared to fight. Now the storyline is you scared you in a hostile territory. You just went in the man's bus and beat his kids up, but you talking about hostile territory. Man, look. And that's the beautiful. No, not everybody. That's recent, realist. That's a recent thing. Know what I'm saying? That's a shit. Stone Cold said, "Man, I'm not fighting Brock. I'm not dropping this belt to Brock. I quit first." And that's exactly what these a lot of these dudes don't do this. I think I'm gonna be nice and say Rock was the last one to do it when he lost to Cena. Like, nah, you got this. You the face, one face to the other. You the future. I was the past. Let's go. You know what I mean? And then you got this mockery Cody Rhodes shit. He fighting once every whenever. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Yeah, he got going. He told Vince, man, fuck you. I ain't coming back. Oh yeah, you ain't coming back. No, I ain't coming back. He ain't come back. He came back and then left again. Real quick. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people ain't trying to push these young talents, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, the two tag team kids, Javon Evans and Leon Slater. That match was so that shit was on point for me. And I'm looking like, damn, AJ, I know you ain't gonna keep up. You see, he tried to do the phenomenal forearm, he fell off the rope. I'm like, damn, you looking crazy. But when he caught who was that, Leon Slater, and put him in the Styles Clash, that shit was I like, yo, okay, you just redeemed yourself. And then you had Ray Phoenix competing with both of them with the high flying activities. That's what a lot of us. That's the mid cards that we need to see. That's the SmackDowns we should be looking at, right? You got Carmelo Hayes over there. You got Montez Ford. They can do this shit. Put them on. Give them something to fight for. Put them in championship competition. If you're not the Street Profits, ain't 4 and 2 months. So let Montez go ahead and do. Maybe he just need to show up in Royal Rumble and say, yo, all right, yo, Dawkins, sit your ass down. I'm straight. I need to do this shit on my own. I need a Jey Uso push. Let's see if that happens for him. You know what I mean? They give the belts to the Seth Rollins and the Becky Lynch. Why not put Montez and Bianca up there? You see what I'm saying? That might be a little bit too much to ask. Some people might say, but why the hell is it? Y'all been doing this nonsense. You got Aleister Black fighting with his wife, right? Y'all won't even let Jimmy fight with his. Then y'all make Jimmy look crazy because his wife was world champion. He can't smell a world championship. You know what I'm saying? That's too much to ask. That's what I'm saying. I really think the fact that Montez is, I can't wait to speak the word because I'm gonna ask word. Do you think that Montez is being held back because of his wife? Because if you really look at it, right, realist. If I'm tripping, I'm tripping, right? But I'm gonna ask you, atmosphere. If you watching this, I'm gonna ask you the same. We see Bianca, right? We see we see Naomi. Why is they men's not holding no belts? We just saw Becky Lynch was the Intercontinental champ. Seth was the world champ. Now, if I was waiting for them to drop the belt to AJ so she and Punk could hold the belt. They don't do that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, even like Zelina Vega had to lose her belt just to start working with her husband. Her husband is Aleister Black. That's real. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you go on the other side and look at that, that's what I'm saying. That's the question, atmosphere. Why is that such a problem? You see what I'm saying? And we can't and we can't say this is Vince's fault. He ain't there. You see what I'm saying? He ain't there. But that's the thing, really. I don't think he's not overrated. It's they don't use him enough for him to be overrated. They want to keep him in tag team form. That's why Jay said, "Yo, I need my time. Like, let me get my time." And you see what they did? They pushed his ass right back into tag team form. They look and then had Jimmy like, "Yo, I had to make this call because he over there losing. I ain't doing shit." I'm paraphrasing, but this is what they should have said. I ain't doing shit. He over there losing. Let's run this shit back. Let's 1D everybody to death. Monday night they had nah, it's not about that atmosphere. It's not about that. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. It's not even about that. Because Booker T forgave him. I've been forgave that. That we know who pulled that promo though. We know who wrote that promo. He ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying? It's just the truth. It's just the truth though. Like I said, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Right? Let these even if y'all don't want to do that, let him get an opportunity. Let him get a shot with Cody Rhodes. Why he's not fighting for the US title against Dragunov? What's wrong with that? It's a fucking open invitation. Let him go out there and try. You know what I mean? Let Montez go out there and try. Carmelo, he tried. He got and look at that match. Realist, if I'm lying, if I'm not lying, realist, Carmelo about to win the match. Somebody interferes. She can't win the belt. One time it was the Miz. Who was the other guy? Ciampa, the DIY tag team dude, just blocked him from winning the belt. Then got the audacity to say, "Why don't you team up with Dragunov to fight DIY?" I don't want to fight DIY. I want my I want my shot at the belt. Now, from my understanding, it's gonna be they're gonna run that match back, Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. Let's see what happens. Will he win the belt? Is he gonna win it? Who knows? I hope so. He deserves it. Because that match that they put on, he was in control until he got smacked off the rope, and Dragunov finished him off. Let these young guns see what they can do. Then you start bringing them other young guns over, the Javon Evans, the Obafemi, the Trick Williams, and see where they can go. All right, y'all want to put them on SmackDown? Put them on SmackDown. Okay, y'all want to say SmackDown's the new NXT, but the big brand do that. But that's all. I hope you're right, atmosphere. You saw what they did. Well, Jay officially, Jay only had the belt for what was that, 50 days? Gunther had it for how long? See what I'm saying? Watch how long CM Punk had the belt. CM Punk gonna have the belt all the way to there, to WrestleMania. Then he ain't gonna be fighting as much as Jay had to fight. Jay fighting every damn week. I agree with that. Let's see how long. Let's see how long this lasts. Then they're gonna have for the women they're gonna have Jay do the same thing. They, I might be pulling the spoiler alert. Stephanie Valkyrie is not even in the main event commercial, so she got to be losing the belt soon. That's just me reading it. That's just me reading what's out there. Y'all putting that out there. Y'all don't got Stephanie out there winning. Y'all got Tiffany. Y'all got uh, Rhea, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Io. I'm missing somebody. It's six of them. That was at that. Liv Morgan. So what it looked like is Stephanie gonna lose the belt to Liv, and then they're gonna figure out King and Queens of the Ring. Who gonna be the Brock though? Look, who gonna be the Brock? Gunther? Because that's what they trying to make it look like. They got Gunther looking like Randy Orton, killing all legends. I think he gonna take out. We spoke about this the other day, realist. I think he gonna take out AJ. That might be he going. They gonna have a match. He might take AJ out before he goes. He gonna make him look like Brock. I need him to fight some powerhouse dudes. Let him fight over Femi for his first for a decent. If y'all want Kofi. Y'all want Gunther to get over. Let him beat somebody that's worth it. Y'all not y'all not going to put him up with Braun Breaker. Y'all not going to do that because the Vision is not a baby face, and you don't put two heels together. This is why Jade ain't fighting Lash Legend yet. This is why she ain't fighting Nia Jax because y'all don't want that collision course to occur. You see what I'm saying? They don't want that to happen. That's why they got her fighting Me Chin, B Fab. And I don't mind that because she needs some time to get herself together. She just powerhousing everybody and making it look real quick. Cool. At the same time, let her be working on her craft in the back somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody doing the pump kick. You see Lash doing the pump kick like it's nothing. You see Maxine Dupree doing the same pump kick. Everybody doing the same pump kick. You know what I'm saying? So let's just they're gonna keep doing that. But the question is, what are they gonna do with this up and coming young stars that they got coming up? I I agree with you because sooner or later. But the funny thing is, they're gonna turn. I can see them doing this though. Atmosphere, right? They got Lash looking so good that Nia gets jealous and turns on her. Then Lash punishes her, and then she cries for a match against Jade. And then after that match, Bianca might come out and come back. You know what I mean? You gotta watch her, realist. I mean, I've been, like I said, I watch NXT. They was making her lose at NXT because they had no more. It was nothing left for her to do over there. You know, there was nothing left for her to do. That's why she's over here. Now she's looking dominant as a tag. I won't be surprised if they win the tag team belt. As a matter of fact, they had a match Friday and they whooped the Kabuki Warriors. You know what I mean? So they got to start. They may start putting her in single matches to see where she's at still. Yet at the same time, they're gonna keep her with Nia, and then they're gonna keep talking about they're gonna be the tag champs or they want to be the tag champs and see where they go. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's a lot to preview, but not in the next week because they'll, like I said, they're gonna be preempted. Uh, they're gonna pre-recorded. So, you know what I mean? We just, like I said, I'm just watching to be the fan that I am. Yeah, she do get a bad rap. Atmosphere. She do get that. She get a bad rap. You know, they say she's dangerous to work with. She'll bust you open. She'll throw you around too rough and all this other stuff. Maybe, but you know, it. I mean, it's not like she's Selena Vega. I think I think she'll return. I'm gonna give her the summer. I'm gonna give her the summer, like SummerSlam or something like that. I think she'll return around. She might return at Mania. So like, yo, you won this match, but I'm looking for your ass at Mania after Mania. You know what I mean? I can see that because I think she's saying her knuckles still not healing or something like that, and that's what's really keeping her out. So I can see that happening, and then I boom, like because Charlotte and Jade is inevitable. That has to happen. That may happen at that might happen at Mania because I can't because even what's her name, Little Miss Bliss, she ain't in none of this promos. They got 6 females. They got 3 from Jade. Let me see, Jade, uh, Charlotte, but everybody else is from and Tiffy. Tiffy's on SmackDown. So they got them 3 from SmackDown. And you got Rhea, Io, and Becky from what you call it. That's possible. I can see that. I definitely could see that. I can see that. Somebody has to come out and say, you know what, you keep beating on these little people. Try the queen. I can see her coming out and say, why don't you try the queen then? She gonna say step up so you can get stepped on or whatever she Jay say. I can see that. Shit, I can see Charlotte trying to do both. If she loses Jade, she'll go in the Rumble and try to pick it up there or Elimination Chamber. So they can have their 2 opponents. Somebody whoever wins the Rumble, they gets to pick. Is that King of the Ring? I don't know. I don't be knowing these shits no more. Do they even do King and Queen of the Ring anymore? Well, whoever wins the January one, they pick one, and then Elimination Chamber, they pick the other. That's how they led to Mania last year. So I think they'll do it again. So it might be if damn will it be Tiffany might win and go fight Stephanie Balkier. I don't know. I definitely agree with that atmosphere. She has improved a whole lot. Because before it was Bianca carrying her, then Naomi, she was mad at Naomi, but even Naomi carried her in a couple matches. But now she's just doing everything dolo, and there's nothing wrong with that because she deserved that because she put the work in. That's why I'm very happy for her being a champion, not because she's black, but she put that work in, and they made her the powerhouse that she was supposed to be when she got over there in the first place. But like I said, I'm just waiting to see the first one to challenge her. It may be Charlotte. I know damn sure it ain't me Chin or B-Fab unless they start. And I don't know if they're doing the draft to where they're gonna put some competitive women over there. Cause like I said, they still got Nia over there. They got Lash. Bianca's out. She was over there, and that's what I'm saying. You only need a handful. You need about 6 of them to make it relevant. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if they're doing the draft. I don't know if they're gonna go over there and try to do what they can do. But it's just a matter of when. And like I said, after this holiday season and after the Netflix special, like I said, they're gonna have about 3 weeks to push that Royal Rumble situation. Then the storylines got to come up because we have to have reasoning of why they want to fight this person or that person or whatever. The card got to be relevant. You know what I mean? I don't know if Roman's going to win the Rumble. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be a part of Elimination Chamber. I don't know. But they got him as a main. They got him at WrestleMania on that promo, so he gonna be somewhere. And that's the thing that we got to look forward to. So we like I said, we got tomorrow to look at. I don't even remember what the show's supposed to be about. I just know that they already it's already made. So if it's Netflix, it probably might be. They probably push a 2 hour show, maybe 2:15, no longer than 2.5. I don't see how they get 2.5. They might have a Gunther moment. They may have a Punk moment, Punk and somebody fighting. Vision gonna see what they're gonna do with Austin Theory probably now that he's in the picture, now that he's revealed himself. You see what I'm saying? So it might not be too much to write about, you know what I mean, or too much. But I'm a update it. I'm gonna still do what I do tomorrow night. Watch it, recap it, and we go from there. You know what I mean? So we'll be around tomorrow. We'll also talk about Monday Night Football and probably go over the schedule for this upcoming weekend football. Talk about a little bit of basketball. Figure these things out. But I just wanted to just touch base about nobody cared for Theory because they were trying to pump him as Vince's little buddy. That's why Roman was like, "Yo, your daddy's gone." You know what I mean? But now he gonna be like he gonna be like realist. He gonna be like JD McDonough. I think they're gonna try to make him the new JD McDonough for Judgment Day. He go out there and do all the dirty work, take all the bumps and things like that. I can see him doing that. I can see him doing that, and then give him some more uh Hill Street. You know what I mean? Make him more vicious and things like that. But taking the bumps Logan Paul, Logan Paul might not take all the punches at that particular time. They might be the tag team champs. Who knows? They might want that. Matter of fact, if they do that to the Usos, man, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's why we gotta watch the stories. Listen, Dom is putting in that work. Dom is over here. He's in AAA. He's doing all of this work. You got to give that man his props. He might be, if he's taking days off, I'd like to know when, because I swear I just seen him in AAA the other night. He was in AAA, mad at Americano Grande, whatever that nigga name is, Grande Americano or whatever, the fake one. He was mad at him because he lost, and then Grande, whatever the masked man was shaking Ray's hand at the end of the night, like, yo, I'm gonna rock with you type stuff. So it's like I said, there's so much going on. You know what I mean? It's just so much going on. But we got, like I said, we gotta just get through this. Once we get through this week, and once we get through that Raw special, there should be some pieces put into place. Like I said, it's on Raw, because on SmackDown, like I said, we know it's gonna be Drew. We know Drew is fighting Cody at the Netflix special, I think. Um We know that's coming up. We know Aleister Black is gonna fight this dude again. What's his name? Damian Priest. And that's what I need them to do. I need them to just get ready, to get these guys ready. Let's see some mean streak. Let's see some fast forward pace in action. Even if there's no story, we need these guys to just wrestle. Why don't I challenge you for a match? All right, cool. Let's go out there and wrestle. Let's go out there and have a great time. You know what I mean? I know AJ probably gonna be in the Royal Rumble. His tag team partner, Dragon Lee's gonna be in the probably the Rumble as well. And that's the thing, you know what I mean? For most of us that have been watching this for a long period of time, we know Rumble is going to be the lead to the towards WrestleMania because that's going to be the first. Whoever wins that picks the champ. Elimination Chamber, they pick the champ, so we know who's going to fight who. We don't think the belt's going to switch hands at that. Well, maybe, but highly unlikely. You know what I mean? So that's the lead to April for us. Is the Rumble. I don't look. We don't care about we don't care about Crown Jewel. We don't care about none of that. Let's see who's coming out for the Rumble. I love Rumble because some of the older guys be coming through to wrestle. You know what I mean? I think we saw who did we see last? Was it? I think we saw RVD. A couple. Was that last year or the year before? We gonna see some older guys come out. You might see R-Truth for a minute talk about what's up and get thrown out of the damn ring, but you know what I mean. You got to pay homage to you got to pay homage to R-Truth. Things like that. Yeah, it was a few years ago where Rumble did destroy Mania because the matches was crazy. Not the past couple. Like I want to say around COVID, the Rumble was hitting. You know what I mean? Like what was that? The one where all of them came out in that one match, the first or the second Cody match, and that was tough to beat. The only way they would have beat that if that was Stone Cold coming out instead of the Undertaker. Slap the hell out of the Rock. That would have been woo. That would have been classic. That would have been damn. That's 20 years ago. 25 years ago. Damn, I feel old. You know what I'm saying? Like woo. But yeah, we definitely got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about coming up this week. Like I said, I'm gonna keep you guys abreast about what's happening on Raw. I know I'm really interested to see how much longer Netflix. Everybody say Netflix is really upset with Raw about the product, so we gonna figure it out. Where Brock was throwing out, yeah, Brock was, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was Brock was throwing everybody out. I remember a few years ago when Kane was tossing people out. Right. You know what I mean? It's so many memories about the Rumble, and that's what I'm saying. That's where the excitement comes in. All right, damn, we know who's gonna fight for that belt. Then you like, okay, well, since we ain't fighting for the belt, yo, you threw me out the ring. I'm about to fuck you up. You know what I mean? It's too many to count. I agree with that. It's too many to count. You know what I mean? It's definitely too many to count. But like I said, once let's get this Netflix special over, we can start thinking about the Rumble. We're gonna start hearing people throwing their names at that thing. Like damn, I'm gonna be the first one to throw my name in the hat. Yo, R-Truth is a job. I say that thing about R-Truth when he's like, yo, Paul Heyman, I'm gonna throw your ass over the ring. I'm entering the match. He said, wait, you not in the match? Oh, you in the match? All right, I denounce. R-Truth he's a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to R-Truth. But like you guys said, it's so many memorable matches, memorable Rumble moments. It's hard to say which one is the best. I can even go back when Cena came back and he took out Triple H to win a Rumble. Like it's so many to just sit there and think about. But now we got to look forward because it's coming. Man, do we understand next week is New Year's? Not this coming Thursday. Next Thursday is New Year's. And that's what I'm saying. We so close to 2026. Look how fast 2025. Like I'm I still can't believe Cena's gone. We just seen him, but it's at the end of the year. So look how fast he won his little 3 belts in 1 year. You see what I'm saying? So they doing some things right, but they need to do a little bit more. And that's the thing. We get ready to hit this new year. We gotta hit this thing running. Let's get ready. Let's get excited. Let's see what y'all got for us, WWE. We asking. We ain't telling. We asking. Because if you do what's wrong, we gonna fall back. We gonna wait to the match. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the tip of the iceberg. But we ready for it, y'all. We ready for it, and this channel's gonna be here to talk about it, just like we do any other Monday or Friday, or it's a special night because Atmosphere wanted to speak about this. But like I said, you guys want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. We've been rocking. We just been going back and forth for a good minute, just talking about yesterday and Rumble matches and all type of situations. But we're gonna be back in 23 hours to talk about this thing. We're gonna hit up Raw is on Netflix tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know what I mean? We'll be back for that. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to Realist and Atmosphere. And don't worry, Atmosphere. He'll be back tomorrow. He should be back tomorrow. He might be able to talk tomorrow. He hiding. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that to my guy though. Shout out to my 33 brother, man. They talk about you, Big Nine. I know you catching the replay. I know you got something slick to say. I know you got something slick to say. Shout out to Dakota. Shout out to Mini Me Toys. Appreciate you guys stopping by. It's probably past your bedtime, but we talking about WWE. This show's about any age. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. But as always, the scores and the standings and of basketball and baseball. Wow, basketball, football, even in this wild week of week 16, is brought to you by the 9%. We're better you, a better us. And with that being said, from the Channel 9 studio, this is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. Signing off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all get some rest. I'll be back.